Everybody wants to know the latest trail conditions, but not everybody wants to go on social media to get them. Some riders, especially younger ones, are missing your social posts entirely. TrailBot is the smarter way for trail managers to communicate updates without relying on social media. Don't let the algorithm bear your posts. Easily share conditions and closures to your website, social media, and the app all at once. Best of all, it's free. TrailBot is used by over 260 trail systems in 17 states and is growing fast. Over 50,000 riders have installed the free iOS and Android apps to get official updates with optional push notifications without having to see what their weird relative posted on social media. So spend less time babysitting Facebook and more time building, maintaining, or advocating for trails with TrailBot. Learn more at trailbot.com. That's trailbot.com. TrailBot, no algorithms, just trail conditions. Hey everybody, welcome to the Single Tracks Podcast. My name is Jeff, and today I'm excited to talk with Tadas Puodžiūnas, the founder of MTB Hopper. If you want to get better at jumping or you're trying to progress your riding without a mountain in sight, this episode is for you. Tadas has a super unique perspective on mountain biking. He grew up in Lithuania, which is pretty flat, and he's built a company around helping riders learn to jump and progress their skills in a safer, more repeatable way. We're going to get into how to figure out the right speed for a jump, how much suspension you really need, and why following someone into a jump often feels easier than going it alone. Tadas, welcome to the podcast.
It's a great honor to having me here. Thank you very much for inviting.
Awesome. Well, let's start at the beginning. So, as I mentioned, Lithuania isn't exactly known for its big mountains. So, what was it like learning to mountain bike there?
Yeah, actually, it was very interesting because we don't have a lot of landscape and terrain. Like any mountains, we have hills. So, probably elevation will be around 300 feet. So,
okay,
be very creative.
It's decent.
Yeah.
But not a lot.
Yeah, quite tight spaces on slopes. So actually at that time it was very few trails. So, and it was kind of difficult to get more jumps.
Yeah.
Like we have some kickers, but not much. We were learning how to shovel them, to build them, and etc. So
there's a lot of work to build a dirt jump, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, most people you'd use equipment, but I assume you guys didn't have equipment. You were using shovels.
Yes, at that time when we're just starting, we just shoveling, shaping and etc. Yeah. So a really big heads up for the trail builders, what they're doing, how do they show their creativity, how they implement it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, cool. And so you were, I guess, as a young person, like how old were you when you were starting to get into mountain biking and wanting to learn how to jump?
Yes, it's around. I was starting when I was a kid.
Okay.
But look at this more seriously when I was like around 20, maybe 25 years old.
Okay. Wow.
At that point, I was riding more like cross country, and I understood that I like more enduro, more like a downhill activities.
Oh, yeah.
So wanted to involve into more gravity sports and etc.
Yeah, that's cool. So how did the idea for MTB Hopper come out of all of this?
Yeah. So mainly idea came out from our main designer who was came up with that idea. So we have here not much, as I mentioned, trails at that point, and we were looking for how to gain the skills.
Right.
Because sometimes to getting to the mountains, you are having quite a lot of challenges to take bigger kickers or drops. And we actually not willing to sacrifice, health and all the things to take not much risk at that point. So we should understand the forces and jumping techniques. And we came up with the idea how to train in a safe environment. So we came across of the concept with portable ramps.
Okay.
So the idea was to implement this into terrain, into the trails, into different scenarios, and have more airtime, because the airtime is essential on the leap of learning. So, and to understand the dynamics, so after some repetitive work, you are gaining more airtime, understanding what is behind, discovering more scenarios like drops, like step ups, like everything, like long jumps, airy jumps, and etc.
Yeah. And so did you start out with like prototypes, like you and your designer? Were you just kind of building these with wood, like people would do kind of on their own, like backyard style jumps, but maybe a little more sophisticated?
Exactly. It was like classical beginning. It's like how DIYs do. So we did the same.
Yeah.
So we have started, and we did a lot of mistakes. We have tested a lot of things, and we understood from our mistakes what to improve and how to build the ramps.
Yeah.
And the key thing was portability. We understood that you need to go to different places and try different scenarios. And as well, you need to find right angles, because the ramps are quite small objects.
Right.
And the feeling, like natural feeling, what you have in the just regular trails, in the kickers, they're different. They're quite bigger.
Right.
So we were looking for the perfect feeling that you should have natural speed.
Okay.
Like confidence when you're hitting the ramp and you feel like it should be with a natural speed.
Okay. What are some mistakes, I guess, that people who, like, if you're just a kid and you're building your own ramp, like what do people usually do that's wrong? Like, I remember when I was a kid, we would ride in the street and we would build ramps. We'd get a piece of like plywood, small piece of plywood, and prop it up with like a log or something. Like that's about as basic as it gets, right? So like,
Yeah, exactly.
what's wrong with that setup, I guess, compared to like maybe what would be more optimal?
Our main designer has broken the leg with that kind of experiment.
Oh no.
Yeah, and
Yikes.
and from that point we have started to think, how to improve and how to do it better. So most of what I see from the DIYs, everybody's choosing like laminated plywood, and it's very slippery
Oh, right.
if it wet conditions. If you are just riding with wet tires, so then it's very dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, we have noticed when you have just like DIY ramp, it's very difficult to transport somewhere. And also, if you want to just adjust it on the flat ground, for example, just like on the flat grass, yeah. And also that grass is not totally flat, so you need to take a shuffle and do some work to adjust it. Yeah. So stability is also a very important key there.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I guess because I was doing it on a street, which is okay, but that's not good for when you do ultimately crash. So yeah, it's better to probably do it on the dirt and to have it adjustable, it sounds like. So do you think sort of growing up in a flat place gave you any advantages as a rider?
I think so. I believe the creativity is the key here. Because when you don't have much trails, you need to be very creative. And the creativity is, how you can train, how you can improve your skills, how to find spots, how to replicate, some moves, how to understand muddy positions, all the things.
Right.
And this is very important in terms of the safety. So as much you have airtime and as much you are practicing, then safer you are. You understand how to jump from the bike if you just gone into a sketchy, situation and so on. So this is very important things. So we came across about safety, about repetitive trainings, and we just starting, to understand, the needs of every type of the rider, of the skill set, and etc.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because there's also in different terrains, like asphalt is another thing, if you're just practicing urban, or if you are trying to incorporate on sandy terrain or on the grass, on the rocks, on uneven terrain. So this is also very important because in terms of the perspective, when you're practicing, you will be facing those different terrains.
Right.
And definitely you need to have quite good adjustability.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're saying too that like if you live somewhere where there aren't a lot of big mountains or, a lot of trails. You have to be very intentional about riding and training, especially. Whereas, if you have access to trails, you can go out and just ride them and, you'll kind of get better. But if you're intentionally working on it kind of at home, it seems like that's a really good opportunity to progress.
But sometimes what I have noticed, and also from our practice, that sometimes even if you are in the trails, because we're traveling quite a lot and we have seen a lot of bike parks, skill clinics, and etc.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really good routine for the warming up, because it's very easy to go from the garage, from the shed, just put the ramp and make morning workout as a routine. So it's very fun and it's boosting a lot of energy, and you can start the day, in really good way.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's a good warm up, sort of like riding the trainer before a race. Like,
Exactly.
get on the ramp. That's awesome.
Yeah. By the way, I have spotted very interesting things on using it, and I have spotted on the beginners who just learning, just making first steps for into the skill clinics. And at one time, I was in the mountains, and there was a skill clinics, and I have seen the riders who are just starting to do very, very basics. And after some time, approximately 1 hour after intensive training, they have a lot of confidence because they feel that they can do it. And actually, they went to quite easy trail, like flow trail, but they have a lot of fun because they just took, some drops, they did some jumps. And this is like a chain reaction. When it's happening, they understand that they can ride, they can improve. And skill improvement is imminent because you are already riding, you're having fun, and also you're gaining more and more skills because you're doing more airtime, more jumps, and etc. You're experimenting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, yeah, let's talk about that, about learning to jump. And, I think all of us can probably improve our jumping. One of the things that I've noticed, and I think that a lot of listeners can relate to, is that it feels so much easier to follow somebody into a jump than it is to try to go solo or try to go first. Why is that, especially when we're coming up on like a new feature on the trail?
Yes, generally speaking, it's easier. But it also depends on skills, what skill set you have behind. And for following, you already feel confidence and have trust in for the following. You're betting on the rider who know that jump and give you a guidance.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Even with the guidance, every rider should overcome the fear. And some of the riders, they are keeping fingers on the brake levers. And it's very depends. If it's beginner, for example, a young rider, so he can take a risk for the jump. But sometimes there is mid-age riders who has after rehab and they probably can skip it, And that point depends on the skill set and the confidence what you have. So we have took the way, and actually it's building up the confidence. And if you already made some trainings, so you can put that confidence and just do it and also do the solo.
Right.
And if you have, for example, portable ramp, you can get familiar with the jump. You can put, very close to the landing, just ride for it, just do some, wider gap, and then, just improve a bit and just wider gap.
Yeah. For me, for sure, it's a matter of like getting a feel for that speed. I'm always overthinking it in my head. Like, do I have enough speed? Do I have too much speed? And I guess when I'm following somebody and, I know that they are able to do this jump, they've done it before, that they're going to get me right in that, perfect zone. And so I'm wondering, it sounds like you're saying, one, you need confidence, which you can gain by practice, but also I'm guessing a lot of it is experience. You just have to do it enough times where you can just kind of have a feeling for that speed.
Yes. And I would say it's a gut feeling.
That's hard.
And what I have noticed from those years, when I see skilled riders, they just see and they have gut feeling. They know what speed should be. And we were working with that to understand how you can train that gut feeling.
Right.
And what is the most interesting part of that when you're starting to jump, so it's one step, but another step is landing correctly.
Yeah. Landing's the most important part, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, because it gives
Yeah.
a lot of joy of riding.
Yeah.
And if you are practicing right landings, then you have the right speed feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So we have came across and we built portable landings for that reason that you could improve the landing.
Yeah.
Because when you're starting to just jumping from the ramp, you probably will start from the flat or do step ups. But if you want to progress, you need to go to the landings. You need to jump to the landings. You need to understand how to approach them. So for that reason, we have made the landings, and also we have implemented the suspension. We are built-in suspension into those.
Oh, into the landings.
Yeah, exactly. It's even if you are riding with the hardtails, so you can easily just land it. They are doing some absorption on that.
Is that like to kind of mimic how dirt feels? Like, does dirt kind of absorb your impact a little bit more than, say, like a rigid ramp would?
Yeah, it's bit absorbs. It's actually more replicates like a suspension.
Okay. More like the bike suspension.
Yeah, exactly. But what is the most important part of that? That there is a feature, if you will, on approach, will gonna case, so it will catches you and you will not go over the bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you are building the confidence for jump and you're starting to combine it with the confidence of the landing, so then you have a perfect match. And this is quite good if you are do practice on the landing.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of time when you feel that cut feeling. What speed is necessary for taking the gap?
Yeah.
Because it's not a secret. Everybody knows that taking the gaps, it's quite challenging. Even that gap is very tiny.
Yeah, mentally challenging, I feel like for me. I mean, yeah, I can do that all day, but as soon as I see that gap, I get nervous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what about that in between stage where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this jump. I think I can do it. Is there a good way to like sort of test a jump without hitting it, at full speed the first time? Or like, I don't know. I've seen people and I've done it myself where I'll roll up to a thing and then kind of at the last minute, I'll hit the brakes and say, no, I'm not ready. How do you do that?
So the key element is here is experience, how you handle your bike in the air,
Okay.
how you feel dynamics, the forces which are. So if you're understanding those and have experience, you can handle that. I have seen numerous times like highly skilled riders, they just, from the first glance they see and they just cover the huge gaps, land precisely and everything is fine. But when you're just on that way, to learning those. So it's the best way to have repetitive work and also to improve step by step, like training numerous scenarios, what you can also changing the geometries of the ramps. So this is also important. Probably you have spotted in our lineup, there is a lot of ramps with different geometries. They have different purpose, different mobility. They have quite different purposes to use them.
Yeah. Well, so if you were out riding with somebody, if you were out riding with me and we come up on a jump and, I take a look, I watch you do it and I think, okay, yeah, I want to do this. So, I get worked up, but then I'm like, I'm too scared. I'm too scared to do it. What do you say in that situation? Like, is it a matter of like, you should get over your fear, or is it like, maybe you're not ready, you should practice more?
Yeah, I think it's better practice because from that point, you can take a risk. But from my perspective, I have seen when you, at that point, when you're just starting to understand what is the pop, how to pop before the jump. So sometimes beginners are trying to solve the technical issues from the perspective that they have a bit less experience. So they are trying to do like long jumps with a higher speed.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the pop is the way how you are changing your body position in the air. So mainly is more about that. And if you have experience with different geometries, maybe more steeper geometries, when you understand the body position, how you are controlling the bike, what brakes does in the air when you're flying. So then you can handle that situation and you can do it.
Right.
But the gap could be very, very big. So it's also, it's very abstract.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're saying too, like, listen to that fear. And what that's telling you is like, maybe you're not ready. Maybe you need more practice before, you are going to feel confident and say, I can do this. Yeah.
Yeah, you can take a risk, but our path is showing that you can do it in a safe way. So after repetitive working, so you can improve your skills. You can challenge you in those scenarios where you are not confident. As well, there's a lot of positions how you can put the ramps, put the landings, and learn on those. So yeah.
So MTB Hopper, you have a bunch of different ramps from small to very, very large. How long would it take somebody to progress if that was their goal, was like, I want to hit the biggest ramp that you make? How much practice would you need to do that before you're able to get to that level?
Actually, not much. Not much. It depends, from the scenario, what you're taking.
Okay.
Because if you will step up, so its biggest ramp will be not difficult at all. And it will be safe if you will put, in a safe way. So it's very difficult to say how much time you need of that, because I have seen, like riders they have progressions like, it's like accelerated progression. They have progress like super, super fast.
Like natural athlete type people. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So yeah, you mentioned the ramps or the landings with suspension, and how that could be helpful if you're on a hardtail. So I'm always curious about suspension and jumping and how the two are related. How much suspension do you need to do jumps and to do bigger jumps? Because I feel like as riders, we think we need a lot of suspension. Like if we're going to take bigger jumps, we need more suspension. But then you see guys on dirt jump bikes that have no suspension or just front, and yeah, they're doing huge jumps. So how does that play into it?
Yeah, exactly. So suspension, if you have better suspension and more travel, it's super good. You're on the safe side.
Okay.
In more sketches scenarios, if you are landing not right. Yeah. But for instance, I have seen a lot of guys who are doing insanely big jumps and landing very precisely.
Yeah.
And no problems. It's matter
and smoothly. I mean, they're able to do it smoothly on a hardtail, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. It's even from our ramps you can just do with the hardtails, jump on the flat, land on the flat. So so there is no like any travel that is necessary, because you can do it with a hardtail,
right?
And you can progress it, and you can go for the landing and just improve your skills, and to be very precise on the landings.
Yeah. So with suspension, rear suspension in particular, that's gonna make it easier, and maybe it's gonna bail you out a bit. Like if you aren't landing exactly right. I mean, is that how you would say it?
Yeah. So if you were gonna into the sketch, landing, so suspension will gonna help you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So one of the big things that you emphasize with MTB Hopper is progression in a low risk, repeatable setting. So why is that so important? I mean, we kind of touched on that, but why make it repeatable and low risk?
Yeah, because you're building the neurons in your brain. Because it's like, like when you're just starting to ride, for example, with a skateboard, so we feel very, very sketchy, on the first hours of riding. So it's the same. Because if you're just starting, to do the jumps, so you will do like small jumps on the flat, maybe 10 or 20, you will feel a bit confidence. Maybe we'll try to hit with a bigger speed, big challenge. So after some time, you are gaining those neurons connections, and the signal just, passing way faster because neuron is built.
Yeah.
And you can really use it. You can you are feeling that you are confident on the straight jumps,
right?
On long jumps. Then you can do like a bit higher, maybe just do more airy jump. So this is the key, because airtime, what you are getting like through the riding, you are getting better, better, and better. The main thing that you can challenge, step by step in the very, small steps. So this is the key, because if you will choose, like if you do a small drop and then you need to do every jump, it's kind of difficult challenge could be.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're talking about building those neurons. I'm wondering now, like, what about watching videos? Because I think a lot of us do that. We go online and we watch videos of people doing these bigger and bigger jumps. Does that help as well? Like if you watch it more?
Absolutely. But the thing is, if you want to do like a whip or scrub or something, it's barely impossible to do it from the video. You need to take a risk. And the point is, where is the line where you can take that risk? Because you need speed, you need to have air, you need to have quite big jump, and what then?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you will do it step by step, you will gain, you will have more airtime, you will have, experience through the numbers of jumps. And then it will be, that right way when you've been able to do it.
Yeah, makes sense. What about on the safety side? Do you recommend people ever practicing with like airbags or things like that? Or does that take away some of like what you're learning because it's not really a natural way to land?
No, I believe that airbags are quite good things. They are quite big. It's actually they are helping.
Okay.
Sometimes you can and fall from them because they're big and the jumps are really high.
Yeah.
And even sometimes if you have practice on the airbags, so yeah, sometimes could be an even scarier to take those jumps.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never ridden on one, but I'd be scared that the bike would hit me when I land,
Yeah.
fall on me. Yeah.
Yeah, but really, it's very good product in terms of that you can do really big jumps and take more risk.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, walk us through specifically like how someone would use MTB Hopper ramp or a ramp like that to get better and to progress their jumping.
Yeah. So there's two ways. One is like a progression when you're just training. You have like safe spots where you're just trying, you're challenging yourself. And another thing is when you're having fun, when you're just taking the ramp, putting like a backpack and go for a riding, for a spot hunting, inviting the friends and you're having fun there. Because you have competition between the friends. You can find new spots, new challenges. So this is very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So what about other skills, bike skills beyond jumping? Cornering, for example, is a big one for mountain bikers. Are there ways to practice this kind of skills, even if you don't have access to, say, a flow trail with like a lot of berms and that sort of thing?
Yeah, but if you have not a big slope, you can put like ramp. I have a coach ramp where you can just adjust to the drop position. So you can do the drop. And after the drop, you can just make the corner, just trying to not lose the speed and get better in the cornering.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like more replicate like natural scenario when what you have in the trails. Like when you're hitting in a high speed, just having the drop and you need to do, cornering.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed you have a couple of other products as well. So one is the manual machine, which I think people have seen that or they've seen similar things to that.
Yeah.
Where you're learning to manual. I mean, have you found that that's a really effective way to teach people or?
Yeah. So everybody names manual machine, but we name it balance because when you're just starting to do like manuals or wheelies, so probably it's the easiest way to find the right angle. But you have kind of different challenges. And one of the things is to handle the bike when it's wobbling,
Right. Yeah.
in one side and another. Yeah. You need to feel the rear brake, which are working on our balance trainer because you can hit hard because every time when you just learning manual. So yeah, at that point, you're just hitting the brake and just, nosedive.
Yeah.
So there's more things to start to understand, how to balance. And as well, that balance has also, it leans into the side. So then it goes your knees, how to control it.
Yeah.
So not only the angle, what you need to feel, but it's more about on the techniques.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And again, about building those neural paths and just getting the experience with that. And eventually I assume it clicks and it's natural. It comes natural and it's easy.
Yeah, it was actually quite a challenge to develop that kind of trainer because there's manual machines and it's kind of difficult to see, do they really helping to do manual?
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm wondering.
A lot of who are very good on the manual machine, for instance, failing to do the manuals because of those things, what I mentioned before, because you need to have more things to keep in mind when you're just doing manuals. Also, just push the bike on the manual, just have pushed to the pedals,
Yeah.
just precise force and etc. There's more things.
Yeah. Interesting.
So when we're building a product, we are trying to understand very deep things. What value should create that product? How it should work in the conditions, in the real conditions. Do
Right.
it create the value? It will improve your skills or not. So it's very, very important things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's talk about that. So MTB Hopper is kind of in a product category that didn't really exist before. I mean, you could buy pre-built ramps. I'm sure they're usually smaller and weren't, necessarily designed the same way yours are in that they're portable. So what was that like trying to develop this kind of from scratch and then convince people that this was something that they needed?
Yeah. So, yeah, actually it was, at that time, it was a lot of questions. Why do you need portable ramp? So those questions there was, but we have tried to show how you can ride, how you can show your creativity on riding, how you can implement in the urban scenarios. As well, another thing, it's about time, because what is about enduro and enduro riding, that you need quite a lot of time. Still, if you have nearby mountains, you need to take your bike to go to the trails, to have riding maybe for an hour or two. Take your bike back, just wash it and put your bike back. Yeah. So it can take 4 hours and something. And sometimes we have lack of the time, but we still want to ride. Right in that discipline. So when you have portable ramp, you can just take from your shed and just go riding in the neighborhood. So it will be, like not a 4 hours or 5 for all process, but you can take just half an hour and just hit and just ride, enjoy those.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, but right. I imagine it's hard to get that message out to people. I mean, do you see a lot of like referrals where, somebody gets one and they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And they tell their friends? Is that kind of how you're building the business currently?
Yeah, exactly. And we are listening for the feedback, for the opinions. So this is very important because we're operating globally. So there's a lot of different things like different climates, different terrains, different conditions. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, what's your best-selling ramp currently?
Oh, we have quite different. We have, in terms of the trainers, like coach ramp, like skinny sets, mini pads, like for the landings. We have portable ramps like light ramp or intro, like to have step in with, like a smaller ramp. So mainly those, and also trainers like balance, like core.
Do people tend to start though with like they'll buy one of the smaller ones, or people gravitate more toward the ones in the middle? Like I imagine the biggest ones are.
Yeah, it very depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Who's gonna ride and what are the conditions? For example, if the rider would just want to introduce for the kids. So probably it's like universal thing is to have a coach ramp. But if you are feeling from the perspective, maybe a teenager who are riding to school with a bike, with the same bike, and going to ride with a friend, so probably it's the best way to go with a light ramp, because you can easily explore new possibilities and new places for the riding.
Yeah. Well, so did you run into a lot of resistance early on with this concept? Were people thinking that the ramps were maybe too expensive, especially compared to like, you know, a ramp they could just build themselves?
Yeah, so we have did same things because we were building DIY ramps. We're just trying to understand, and our idea is to do a perfect ramp and the most efficient way. So yeah, there was a lot of questions about the pricing and etc. But we don't want to have lack on the quality, because
Right.
it's very important to have the good feeling and to have a good product that you can use and utilize every day, and do it quite simple in a simple way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that simplicity for sure. Like when you see the ramps, I mean, it looks like there's essentially no hardware that holds it together, right? It's all kind of like interlocking
Exactly.
pieces of flat wood. Are people like, do people ever ask you like, are these things safe?
Yeah, so we are doing a lot of tests with our ramps. We are testing in a real environment. So there's behind a lot of engineering about, how they're sturdy, how they are working, when you're hitting the ramp and etc. Also, there's a lot of special things like special grade materials. We have special technology, how we are milling. We have special machinery, how to do it. And we have built it through those years. We made the mistakes and we just started to learn, what to improve, how to do it, how to achieve that price and etc.
Yeah.
So this is very important. So we are trying to as most efficient ramp as we can.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing too that compared to a DIY ramp, they're probably safer. I mean, like you said, there's more thought that goes into it for sure. I'm just thinking of the ramps I built as a kid. You know, we'd leave them outside and they'd get wet, and over time the, plywood would start breaking, and eventually someone would just break right through it. And so, yeah, compared to that, I'm sure it's much safer.
Yeah, but the main thing that you can easily utilize those, you can use it every day, and it should be quite easy. It's not should be difficult, because when you're building the ramp, you are doing a lot of mistakes. It's normal because you don't have, quite big experience to building those.
Right.
And so if you're just trying to, catch every feature, so this is, big challenge.
Yeah.
Because also we have placed the colors, special colors. They are providing more grip in a wet environment. It's not only colors; it has purpose for that.
Yeah, yeah. Wood can be very slippery. I was just riding last night and a friend slipped on a wooden bridge, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's worse than ice for sure. Yeah.
absolutely. So we were thinking about those things, and we have developed special paints. So yeah, those things are very important.
Yeah.
So if you are building the ramp, so yes, you can do it. You can do in the budget. This is okay. But what is your main goal? Do you want to improve your skills and ride more, or you want to build the ramp?
Right.
Different questions. So mainly we are trying to provide as best as we can the best product that you can improve your skills and do it safely and in really a good way that you could enjoy this process.
Yeah, that's great. Well, what's next for MTB Hopper? Do you have any new products or ideas in the pipeline that you're working on?
Yeah, we're working. We have here the R&D at our headquarters here. So we are working all the time. We are improving our lineup. We're doing new models. We're doing experiments. So all the time we are working on that.
Cool. So before we wrap up, I'm curious about the riding in Lithuania today. Are there any trails you could recommend for someone who might be visiting the country?
Our community is very welcoming to visit our trails. We have few trails in the different towns. We have skill parks, we have dirt jumping park, we have pump tracks, and etc. Actually, our trails are not very long. So, yeah.
Okay. So lots of
But
laps.
there's also challenges. Also, there is really, really big jumps with huge gaps. So, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
We're welcome to visit us and just have a ride here.
Yeah. That sounds amazing. So finally, where can people learn more about MTB Hopper and keep up with what you're doing?
Yeah. So mainly information you can find on our website, mtbhopper.com, and as well on our social media like Instagram. We're posting all the time content from different athletes. From also we are posting the content from our customers and etc.
Yeah.
Projects.
Cool. And I assume you ship worldwide, right? So
Yes.
people in the US can, order your ramps online and have them delivered right to their door.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Tadas, thanks so much for joining us today. I think this episode is going to inspire a lot of people to work on their jumping skills, myself included, no matter where we ride. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thanks to all of you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and check out MTB Hopper at mtbhopper.com. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.